This video is going to help you to answer a WJEC history question on the Germany paper, which is worth 15 marks. The question says that many factors contributed to Hitler being able to achieve total power in Germany by 1934. It then asks, was the most important factor the effect of the Wall Street crash? To remember the answer to this question, I'm going to ask you to imagine going on a journey, starting in the school hall and ending in the cookery room. The different places and things you come across on this journey will help you remember what to write and in what order you need to write them. In the first sentence of the first paragraph, you should write about what's in the question. In this example, it's the Wall Street crash. But it could be any other factor, such as the Treaty of Versailles, the weakness of the Weimar Republic, or Hitler's personal qualities. A sentence to begin will be something like, the Wall Street crash was one of the most important factors in Hitler being able to achieve total power in Germany by 1934. The starting point in the journey is the hall. For the next sentence, I want you to imagine that Mrs. Lumber is on the stage. She says, however, there were a number of other reasons that also helped Hitler to achieve total power by 1934. This makes up the first paragraph in your answer. As well as Mrs. Lumber being in the hall, I want you to imagine that there's a wall with the numbers 1929 on it, and in front of that wall there's been a car crash. The words hall and wall rhyme, and the year 1929 is important because that's when the Wall Street crash happened. This should help you to remember the first sentence in this paragraph. In 1929, the value of the shares on Wall Street collapsed. This was known as the Wall Street crash. The crash led to the Great Depression. You then need to explain how Germany suffered the most during the Depression, with businesses going bust and unemployment reaching 6 million. This brings to an end the second paragraph in your answer. Second place on our journey is the steps outside the entrance. On the steps, I want you to imagine that the message "You Troll" has been written, and this will help you remember how the German people felt about the Treaty of Versailles. Start with the word firstly, and then write what the U stands for. Do the same for the letters T, R, A, W, L. This makes up the third paragraph in our answer. The next place in our journey is the stream. The word stream rhymes with dream. I want you to imagine that you had a dream in which you saw a piece of limp paper floating down a stream. The fourth paragraph of your answer is written using the letters in the memory word limp paper. The final place in our journey is Mrs. Payne's cookery room. In the last part of your answer, you should try to make a judgment as to which factor was most important. Mrs. Payne says, in conclusion, while the Great Depression provided the background to Hitler achieving power, there were some other important reasons. Next, I want you to imagine bun with the Treaty of Versailles on it. One rhymes with bun, and this should help you to write, one reason Hitler achieved total power was the effect of the Treaty of Versailles. Next, I want you to think of a shoe with a weak toe. Two rhymes with shoe, and I want you to use this to write, another reason was the weakness of the Weimar government. Finally, I want you to think of a tree with a picture of Hitler on it. Three rhymes with tree, and I want you to use this to write, finally, there was Hitler himself. His leadership, ideas and personal qualities were also important in attracting support for the Nazis. Depending on which factor is featured in the question, you may have to substitute one of these three with the factor about the Wall Street crash.